Hi, welcome to the More Than Fine podcast. My name is Alyssa, and as always, I am your host. Now, today, before we get started on our topic, I just want to say I know it's been a while, and I don't have really any good reason for it except for life and technology. So, totally recorded this, I don't know, last week and went in to load it up and boom, gone. Like into the ether of the interwebs. Like, I don't know what happened. And this shouldn't surprise a lot of you. And, you know, I'm gonna try it again. Um, so let's see what happens. We'll do this together. And also, update from last time gratitude. I did send out all my things, all my letters to people, all my cards, and it was wonderful. I felt great. And what I discovered was I had a really hard time, like, trying to decide who the seven people were going to be. And I hope you guys all had a hard time with that because like I know people and I know I have people who care, but I don't think I really like it really hit me upside the head how many there actually are. And so this will be a continuing thing because now I am motivated to make sure all my people get some form of gratitude. Now, if you're my sibling, your gratitude might not be a letter. Um, it might be more sibling like where, you know, I tackle you to the ground or, you know, smack you upside the back of the head. I don't know. Maybe my family's violent. Um, Whatever. But, I don't always want to act like an adult. Um, so there's that. And I hope that you guys had kind of the same experience and that you will also continue to do some gratitude for people, to people. Um, it was just a really good exercise, and I was very very happy um, that I did it and that it turned out how it turned out. So on to our episode, and we are going to talk about peace. However, we are going to talk about something called unhealthy peace. I know, right? I had not heard this before, and it was like my head exploded when I learned about it because those two words shouldn't go together, and yet they do. So, what is unhealthy peace? Well, plain and simple, healthy peace is choosing not to touch something. Not because it doesn't matter, but because it matters so much, you're scared of what happens if you actually touch it. It's basically avoidance dressed up as being calm, right? And um, you tell yourself you're keeping the peace, but what you're actually doing is protecting yourself, which is what your brain is there for. And it's protecting you from loss and or from whatever might happen if you said the true thing out loud. know, right? So I realized I have done this most of my life, probably in one way or another. And it really just hit me like, it's not that I don't care about whatever it is that I'm not speaking about. It's that I'm caring so much that I stay quiet so I don't lose it. Does that seem healthy? Probably not. But again, our brain is wired to get us to survive. And so the brain sees that as a threat. Like all those signals go through, brain is like threat, threat, threat. Don't say anything, keep your mouth shut. Um, so now, again, rewiring the brain, it's a thing. It's not always the easiest thing to do, but we're going to try it. So, what I've noticed about this, if you look all the way out, okay, our society oscillates between two dysfunctional poles. No, not north and south. It's called unhealthy peace and unhealthy conflict. So, nobody seems to be in the middle. Ever. Never. Might be worldwide right now, I'm not sure. But, again, one side or the other. No in the middle. It's kind of a problem. Neither of those things are good. So, what do we need to do instead? Okay? Instead of avoiding, instead of exiting, instead of ghosting, we need to go in the other direction. And we need to burn the house down. Yes, we are going to burn it down. We will blow it up so completely, there's nothing left to manage on either end of that spectrum or at either pole. Just it's just going to be taken care of. So I think a lot of us land on the avoiding side, um, because of what we've been taught growing up, or what we've been taught about conflict ourselves itself. Um, it's I think we've been taught that conflict is immoral. Um, kind of a sin, but not really, like just a bad thing, right? And that we should try to avoid it because the people who fight and who name things and who push back are those messed up people. Yes, that was some sarcasm in my voice. Sorry, it happens once in a while. So, the messed up people, the dysfunctional ones, right? Good, healthy people don't do conflict. Good, healthy people keep the peace. Now, I think as an oldest child, yes, we might be the best. However, I have realized it might fall to us, especially in the latchkey generation, that we had to keep the peace or keep things under control in between parents getting home from work and us getting home from school and things like that. Now, I didn't always avoid the conflict. If any of you that know me personally, you can ask my siblings, they'll tell you. But most of the time, it worked out okay. Just don't talk to my brother. Anyways, what I have come to realize, however, is that that's actually backwards, right? So the people who do fight might be the healthy people. And by fighting, I just mean addressing an issue, having a conflict, a healthy conflict. I don't mean scream, hit, fight, that kind of stuff. Um, so I want to hopefully move us towards the healthy peace and the healthy conflict. Obviously, it's going to look different for everyone because individuals, right? Nobody's the same and nobody's perfect. Keep that in mind. So the first move, and it's a small one, teeny small, is just to pause. Be curious. Curiosity doesn't always kill the cat. It's okay to be curious. And just invite the idea, even if you don't fully believe it yet, that conflict might actually be necessary for a connection. Okay? Not conflict is chaos. Conflict is contact. Okay? Because here's a phrase I want to give you, and I want you to sit with it. Healthy communities hold healthy heat. This will be the heat that burns the house down, in case you're wondering. So, if you think of your connections as a community, right? Healthy communities hold healthy heat. So that means the conflict is addressed in a healthy way. Heat is not the enemy. Heat actually means that something's alive. If you think about fire, right? It needs oxygen to burn. We need oxygen to be alive. There you go. Okay? So it means that something's alive inside of you if there's some heat. Because otherwise it wouldn't be bothering you. So really what kills a relationship isn't the heat, it's the silence that never turns the heat into anything. Just either lets it simmer or lets it die completely. I think that I will also throw in here one of my favorite sayings. Pick your battles, right? Not every conflict needs to be said, and that's where that pause comes in, right? If, I get home and the dog has done its business on the floor and the other person in my house did not clean it up. Now, some days I'm going to be better at it than others because nobody's perfect. But one day it might just be easier to just put my stuff down and clean it up myself and just let it go. Because you also have to take turns doing the stuff. Can't always be the same person. Although I would like it if someone else does the cooking all the time. Just saying. So, back to our peace, our healthy community and healthy heat. On the other side of this, there's also a physical body piece to this, because I'm the nervous system nerd. If you think back, or if you watch the other episodes, you'll know that. And I'm going to die on this hill. The most powerful body we have is a relaxed body. Not a rigid one, not a shut down one. A relaxed body that can stay in the room for the hard conversation. That's actually where our power is, right? Because if we're not, have not taken that pause, have not found the calm, the healthy calm, and relaxed our body, it's probably not going to go well. It's not going to be a healthy contact. If our body is relaxed, our brain is, up here where it should be, instead of in its little, I had someone refer to it once, prehistoric brain, which I thought was funny and kind of cute. And so it's not in your prehistoric brain if your body's relaxed. It's not just there for survival, it's there to think, right? Frontal lobe. That's your thinking. Executive function. That's where our power is. So if conflict isn't the enemy like we've thought it was, then what is actually? What is conflict? Conflict is relevance, right? That's what it is. Think about it. We don't fight about things we don't care about. Nobody is up at midnight with their brain running circles, rehearsing an argument about something that doesn't matter to them. Right? It's always something that matters, or you'd be fast asleep. If it's coming up and if it's got some heat behind it, that's a signal to you. It means you're close to something real in your life, your values, or whatever it is that actually gives you some life, something that's so important to you. So the next time conflict shows up, instead of asking, how do I make this stop, which is what your prehistoric brain wants to do, try asking, what does this tell me about what I care about? That's in that pause. What does this tell me about what they care about? That's the key, right? Prehistoric brain survival only matters what you need to survive. Frontal lobe brain, what is it? What does this tell me about what they care about? Not just what you care about. So, here's the practical piece. Okay, the thing that you can actually hopefully use the next time you might be standing in the middle of a conflict. Look for the relational longing. Okay, so what does that actually mean? Not a term you hear, right along with that unhealthy piece. Relational longing is just this. It's the ache underneath the argument to still be close to that other person. You long to be close to them, to still matter to them, to still belong to them and with them. It's not about the dishes or who forgot to do what or who was late. It is wanting to still belong with them. It's the quieter thing underneath it. The part of you that's really saying, I don't want to lose you because of this. And that's the thing you have to find. It doesn't matter who's right or who said what first, it's a longing underneath. It's not you versus me, it's us versus the problem, or us versus the conflict. Okay? And here's how you might start that conversation. You don't just go into it sideways like, "Hey, can we talk?" Can't do it that way. You name it. You name what you're actually going to do. Something like this. Hey, maybe not quite like that. You can go in between. Hey, I'm going to speak a dangerous truth. A dangerous truth. Why would you say it that way? That's the opener you want to use. You're going to tell the other person exactly what you're about to do, because what scares us the most isn't usually the conflict itself, it's the not knowing. And that's why the truth is dangerous. And I just really liked that phrase, that term for it. So naming it takes some of that power back, right? And that's an example of how to name it. So then here's going to be the thing that makes the whole reframing of this possible. The people still in the fight still want to belong together. Okay? If they didn't, they wouldn't be fighting. They wouldn't be having this conflict. They'd already have left. So showing up for the hard conversation is an investment. It's an investment in the us, the we. It's you saying out loud or not, I think there's still a we worth fighting for. Okay? So find the root of the conflict. Don't assume it means the end of the relationship, because more likely than not, it does not. When conflict is done right, it's actually one of the more intimate things two people can do. Yeah, you heard me. Why is that? Because it requires admitting that you were affected by the other person. It requires letting yourself be vulnerable to another person. None of us like to feel that. No matter if you've been in a relationship, there's always something that stepping into being vulnerable is scary, and our brain finds it dangerous. Back to the dangerous truth, right? So it requires letting yourself be vulnerable in front of them and on purpose. So here's what I've learned, or where I've landed on this subject, okay? The unhealthy piece feels safe. That's why we do it. It feels like nothing's wrong. We can be the ostrich with our head in the sand. But really, it's just conflict with the volume turned down. It's still there, just unspoken. It's like turning down the radio. The music's still playing, or the game, or the podcast, whatever. Still playing, just can't hear it. It's just staying underneath, nice and quiet. So think about how healthy communities hold healthy heat. Healthy people have a relaxed body. when they're in the room. Healthy relationships don't avoid the conflict, they go looking for the longing underneath it. And that's more than fine. That's everything. So if today's episode brought up something heavier in you, maybe some sort of realization about something, either a relationship, a pattern, a truth you've been avoiding, you don't have to sit with it alone. Remember that, okay? Reach out to someone you trust or a professional who can walk through it with you, okay? You may also reach out to me in the comments on my website, on my Facebook page, any of it. I will gladly be that safe person to help you with that. Especially, well, not especially, I will help you with any of it. I was just going to say, if you are realizing that you've been living in that unhealthy piece, and you want help figuring it out, or what to actually do about it, that's exactly the kind of pattern of work that I do in my one-on-one sessions. Dogs, it's like they think they see things and there's never anything there, right? They just know it's time for a door to open. One-on-one coaching. Had to take care of the dogs. So if you are thinking that you might want a partner to, for having this hard conversation you've been avoiding, please come find me. I'll make sure all the links are in the show notes, and maybe we can get you headed in the right direction. Now, I'm going to say this. Even if you reach out, I'm still going to help you. I will still help you find the right resource for you, right? I'm hoping it'll be me. It's what I do. But it's just like anything else, you have to find the right person to partner with to make it work right. Okay. And that really will be more than fine. Keep up your gratitudes. I hope to see you in the next episode. Take care.